fucking off, bro, like blasting. Alright, you guys, welcome back to the iconic full week of workouts, but this one with the twist. Why? Because we're in Hawaii. Alright, let's set you down. I feel like I always start these videos in the car, but like we love a good switch up. So yes, it's no secret that I'm in Hawaii. I've been here for about 3 weeks. I'm here on an extended stay, and I figured I have to show you guys what a week of workouts looks like for me while living in Hawaii. Now, in terms of my actual like workout routine, it's been very up in the air because I've been in a new space, but also because I haven't felt super called to the gym, and I don't feel a need to be like super consumed by it when it's always gonna be there in life, and like there's just so many fun, beautiful things to do here in Hawaii. Nevertheless, last week was my first week where I actually successfully completed like a full workout schedule. Yeah, I just basically wanna show you guys what a full week of activity looks like for me. My main workout split, my intention for workout split hasn't changed. It's still 4 days a week with 3 rest days. That just really has what's been working best for me and my fitness goals and my hormonal levels and how much I'm eating, that whole sort of thing. So still doing 2 leg days a week. I used to split it up into a hamstring and glute and quad and glute day, but lately I've just been total legs and I've been vibing with it. I still don't know which I'm gonna do this week. Then I will still do a full upper body day, and then my 4th and final day is a functional full body training day, which I did actually last week for the first time, and it was so freaking fun here because there's just more equipment in this gym. I also have been doing a lot of activities outside. I've been dabbling, getting into surfing, hiking, going for my normal walks, which reminds me, back in Utah, especially over the winter, I would walk maybe twice a week, and I did not have a step goal. I still don't have a step goal, but I definitely have increased the frequency of my walk just because it helps me feel better and helps me honestly not feel so like fluffy and bloated and watery. It's crazy how impactful like walking is. It's so underrated. But now I've been trying to walk like 4 or 5 days a week for anywhere between like 20 minutes up to like 40-45 minutes depending on how much time I have in my day. But that has just been making me feel so good mentally, physically, and also has just been allowing me to even just get outside even more and enjoy the space even more than I already have been. In terms of my actual like fitness goals, I just kind of am trying to maintain where I'm at. I'm not looking to build any muscle, and especially right here, right now, like I'm not trying to kill myself in the gym when I'm here in Hawaii in such a beautiful location for a short period of time. So I'm just living life. I'm training because it makes me feel good and for my health and because I enjoy it. But like, that's really it. I don't know, I've just been having fun with movement in general since being here. Things that don't always involve the gym. So I'm hoping that you guys will see a sprinkle of everything this week. I don't have a plan for this week. I don't know what's gonna come about, what opportunities are gonna arise this week, but I'm planning on just showing you all of my activity, give you some inspo and some really good workouts to implement in your routine. So I think that's everything that I need to say. Let's just get into the frickin' workouts. I'm wearing all Alphalete, as always. Let's go hit it. And I'm wearing my EHP Labs Blessed socks, so like, you know it's gonna be a good day, you know what I'm saying? I think my favorite thing, one of my favorite things about being in Hawaii and like being able to work out here is like that I can just leave in a sports bra and shorts, and that it's not weird, I'm not cold. Listen, not that I don't like pump covers, but like I'm someone, I could live life naked if it was socially acceptable. So like the less clothes that I need to wear, like the better, and I mean that in the least weird way. It's just like, it's just easy, you know?
All right, welcome to the first workout of the week. Super exciting. So, same mobility stuff really has not changed at all since my previous weeks of workouts. So I like to do my foam rolling on my back, literally just to make it crack. And then I'll flip over and also help just to stretch out my shoulders and my arms and all of that good stuff. And then here I move into my dynamic stretch. We always want to be doing dynamic stretches before our workout and static stretches after the workout. So dynamic meaning things that we are moving our muscle through a movement in order to make it stretch and therefore prep it for movement. So I always do those froggers to toe grabs. Then I'm doing just some low lateral lunges here. I do some 90-90 rotations here just to open up the hips. This is great, especially if you have tight hips and you really want to work on hip mobility. These are C steps. I've been doing these since high school. You essentially just want to pretend like you're kind of hurdling your leg over. So I do like about 5 forward and then 5 backwards on each leg. Another really great hip opener. I personally have really tight hips, so that's why I make sure just to do these dynamic movements before my leg days. Then for the first exercise, I went in with back squats. These are not my favorite exercise. I don't really know why I decided to do them. I think just because the bar was open, which isn't super common. So I just decided to go for some back squats. I did 4 sets here, 2 sets of 10, and then I increased the weight just by 5 pounds on each side. Then I did 8 reps, and then for that final 4th set, I pushed myself to get two more reps and did 10 reps here. So these are just your basic back squats. You essentially always want to pretend like you're sitting back into a chair. So I always visualize breaking at the hips first, especially if I'm wanting this to be a more glute biased movement here. So I take my hips and sit back and down into the movement. I do this to help shift my weight onto my heels so that I can drive up through my heels and therefore place an emphasis on glute engagement. I'm keeping my chest nice and open. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm keeping my core nice and tight. I have the bar resting right on my trap. So anything higher, that's going to be resting on your spine, on your neck, and that's what's going to feel uncomfortable. And I have my hands just positioned just past the width of my elbows, and that's what's most comfortable for me. For depth, make sure you're at least hitting parallel, meaning that your thighs are parallel with the ground. Make sure you're also pushing your knees outward throughout the whole movement. You don't want them to be caving in. And like I said, always make sure that you are driving through your heels. You're going to be hearing me saying that a lot throughout my leg workouts in this video. Then I moved into stiff leg deadlifts, my freaking favorite. These are wrist straps from Pro Fitness. I'll have them linked down below on my Amazon storefront. These things are freaking, they're just a staple to have in your gym bag, and I highly recommend them, and they really have changed the game for me with my leg days because they got to a point where my grip would just give out even though my legs were stronger, so I just love them. So I did a little drop set here. So I did 3 sets of 10 and 10. So I'm picking a pretty challenging weight for 10 full reps, and then we're going to go directly from that set into a set with using half the weight for another 10 reps. So for form here, similarly to kind of the squat motion here, we're going to be starting by pushing our hips backwards. So this is a hip hinging movement. So push your hips back like you're pushing a door closed, or you also can envision it like I'm standing behind you with my hands on your hips and I'm pulling your hips back towards me. You want to keep a nice slight bend in your leg as well to protect your knee. A greater bend that you have in your leg, the more glute focused it's going to be as opposed to hamstring focused. As you're pushing your hips backwards, that's going to inevitably cause you to shift your weight backwards onto your heels, which, like I just said previously, that's the goal. We want to be always driving up through our heels to make these more glute biased movements and feel it more in our glutes. Always pretend like there's a board strapped to your back. That's what's going to help minimize lower back pain. Keep that core nice and tight, your neck in line with your spine, and keep those dumbbells super close to your legs. You want them grazing your legs. This will also help minimize lower back pain as well. Like I said, you're going to be completing 10 of the heavier set, and then you're going directly into 10 of half the weight. Then you're going to rest and then repeat that whole entire set for a total of 3 times. Then you guys know I have to go into hip thrusts. It just is the way it's gotta be. So this setup was not ideal. I tried it on like the benching station, didn't love it. I'm still trying to find a good spot to do hip thrusts in this new gym. Haven't really found it yet. I do not recommend getting up like this, especially if you're new or if you're pushing really heavy weight. But a sister had to do what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? So I did 4 sets here. I did 12 reps for the first set, and then for the final 3 sets, I increased my weight and did 10 reps. Again, for form, knees are always stacked over our ankles so that we can constantly be driving up through our heels. This is what's going to help the most with glute engagement. We're constantly looking straight forward, again, to help create a posterior pelvic tilt and therefore increase glute engagement. And you want to visualize scooping up with your hips. Your torso should be very still. The whole trunk of your body should be pretty still. The only movement here is coming from your hips. And the biggest thing that's really important here is to make sure that you're getting max extension with your hips. So really make sure that you are pushing up as high as you can and really squeezing your glutes. This was a guy asking if he could take the weights from this bench area, and I was like, go for it, bro. Here's me taking off the weights because just to show y'all, because why not? Then I moved into more isolated work. Those were more of my compound movements for the lift. So here I did lateral lunges for 3 sets of 15. Wait, just kidding. Curtsy lunges, excuse me. So this is great for the lunge variation of our workout as well as a lateral movement variation to make sure that we're targeting all areas of the glutes here. So this is going to hit our quad, our inner thigh, and our glutes. Basically, you're going to be lunging back and down, but you're going to be going at a slight 45-degree angle behind you as opposed to completely directly behind you. These are great to hit that side portion of your glute, the upper outer muscle in your glute, to help round out the booty. These little muscles don't get enough attention. We have two muscles at the top outer portion of our glutes, the glute medius and minimus, so this is going to help target that. Again, constantly driving up through our heel, and basically just position your legs so that you're feeling that stretch in the side of your glute to help mitigate knee pain. Make sure that knee is still staying stacked over your ankle and you're still staying lined up. So then from there, I finished off with a super isolated move. I did leg curls just to hit the hamstrings because I felt like it for 3 sets of 10. Not too much to say here, but just make sure that you're putting that pad down on your shin so that it's locked nice and tight so that there's not a lot of movement, and really focus on driving down with your heels by squeezing your hamstrings. Try not to let your butt come off the seat or to have a really big arch in your back. Really focus on just squeezing your hamstrings. Then this is me proudly showing you that I finished this whole entire water bottle throughout my workout. 1.75 liters, baby.
I'm back home, workout was great, and now I'm going to go hike a waterfall, one of my freaking favorite things to do ever, with my friend Rachel, and I'm very excited because I've been wanting to go to this waterfall. So I think it says it's about a 1.7 mile hike round trip, so not very long. This will probably be my like walk or steps for the day.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I...
Alright, party people, welcome to Tuesday. I've been working all day. Oh. Ooh. Wait. Oh. I hope you guys could hear those cracks. But anyway, I've been working all day long and we're gonna go hit upper body. I like kind of don't want to do it, and like this is when I'm like, I like training 4 days a week because I can move things around, but tomorrow I'm going on a little adventure. I have plans and I just don't want to deal with having to try to work out before it, so I think we're just gonna full send it. We gotta go and beat the traffic. Say it loud and proud, girls. It's Cheetah-licious. Yo, should we listen to the Cheetah Girls soundtrack? I just need to say, like, my life just changed again from hearing the Cheetah Girls soundtrack again. This is your guys' sign to go listen to it again.
So I honestly did not have an extensive warm-up this day. For whatever reason, I just did my foam rolling and then did my first exercise with lighter weight, and then I just got into it. First, I started with a pull down for 4 sets of 12 here. To start, you want to make sure that you're retracting your shoulder blades back and down to engage those back muscles and keep your core nice and tight. Your chest should be nice and open as well. And basically, you're just going to want to drive that handle down to the top of your chest. There's no need to go anything below like your sternum, essentially. You want to make sure that your feet are very firmly rooted into the ground as well to have a nice stable base, and focus on controlling the movement when you are pulling the weight down and also when you are allowing it to come back up. Slow and controlled is really important here, and think about those back muscles squeezing as well. You can think about it as your hands just being hooks for the weight. The actual, I guess, pulling is coming from those back muscles, not from your hands or your biceps or anything like that. Then we went into a little bit of a superset action. I love doing supersets on upper body day, so I started off with just a normal flat dumbbell bench press here for 3 sets of like 10 to 12. And what's really important here, same thing, retract those shoulder blades back and down to help engage the muscles that you are wanting to work. And when you're bringing these dumbbells down, I'm not coming down so they're like completely parallel to my side, so I'm making a T. It's more so at a 45-degree angle. This is going to help put less stress on that shoulder joint and really target the front of our shoulders and our chest, which is our primary focus here. Again, our feet are nicely rooted into the ground to have a nice stable base. Our core is nice and tight. And when we are driving those dumbbells up towards the sky, we're going to contract our chest and get a nice squeeze. Again, slowly controlling the raising portion and the lowering portion of this movement. Then I went directly into a dumbbell single arm row to now hit our lats in our back. So I love this freaking exercise. I like to get a nice comfortable base. Don't be afraid to kind of play around with where you're putting your foot to get more comfortable. And you're essentially just going to be driving that dumbbell to your hip by keeping your elbow close to your side. That's the most important thing with this exercise. You don't want to let your elbow flail out to the side, or else you won't be getting as inefficient of a contraction or a target towards your lats, which is what we are trying to target here. So again, make sure you're driving that dumbbell to your hip, keep that elbow close to your side, keep your neck in line with your spine, and really squeeze your lat at the top of the contraction. Again, slow and controlled. Make sure that you are controlling all portions of this lift. Then I moved into a fun little tri-set here. I did 3 sets of 10 for everything. So this is going to mainly hit our shoulder. So first we're starting off with a barbell frontal raise. I'm using a 20-pound preloaded barbell for all 3 of these exercises, which makes it very fun and easy. So like I said, 10 reps, I'm keeping a nice slight bend in my arm to protect my elbow and just lifting that bar until I am parallel with the ground. Then I move into an upright row, essentially just keeping that barbell grinding up against my body throughout the whole entire movement and driving my elbows up towards the sky is kind of how I picture it. And this is going to hit the sides of our shoulders. Again, our hands are just hooks for the weight. I kind of pretend like I'm a puppet and there's like strings from my elbows. It really helps with my mind to muscle connection. Then for the rear delts, which is the muscle in the very back part of our shoulder to tone up the back of our arms, we are doing a bent over rear delt row. So again, overhand grip and just driving my elbows up towards the sky again. Similarly to that bench press, my elbows are about 45 degrees from my sides. I'm not coming to a full T. This again will help to target those rear delts. Then I went into another little superset. I did an Arnold curl. I'm pretty sure is what these are called. I only did 2 sets here. So I did 10 reps. You're going to come up with a bicep curl grip so our palms are facing towards the sky. Then you're going to rotate into a hammer curl grip where your palms are facing one another for the lowering portion of the movement. Make sure your elbows are tight towards your sides, and you want to stop at the top of the movement before your hands are going to sink into your shoulder, if that makes sense. So I'm not coming all the way up. I'm stopping at peak contraction, rotating my hands and coming back down. Keep your core nice and tight and try to eliminate any swinging or momentum in the movement. Lastly, I did a single arm cable extension for our tricep. Last exercise was for a bicep, of course. And so here I did 2 sets as well because it is a superset for only 15 reps. So for this type of movement, I pretend like there is a rod going through my elbow. The only movement here is in my forearm. As you can tell, my upper arm is completely stationary. This is going to really help eliminate momentum and isolate that tricep, which is our intention. So you're essentially just going to drive down your palm, the bottom of your hand is kind of how I picture it, by contracting my tricep and getting a nice squeeze. You can hold for a second if you would like to help with the mind to muscle connection at the bottom of the movement. I have no attachment on the cable here. I'm just holding the ball that is already on the cable machine. And as you can see, my hand is kind of suspended here. I'm not standing completely upright. This is just to help eliminate momentum even more and really isolate that tricep.
Good morning, you guys. It's like 8:15 Wednesday morning, and I'm gonna go for a walk. Day now. Thought I should also mention that today, since I'm also hitting legs and I'm also training today was more of like a mellower walk. I still went for like 40 minutes, but it was more flat. Whereas yesterday morning when I went on a rest day, I did more hills, so like it was a little bit more intense. I walked with a little bit more intention. I was sweating a little bit more, whereas this morning was just more so for simply movement. I have to make an errand stop before we go to the gym, so I'm not in my gym clothes right now, but lots of exciting things because we're going to, since I have to run an errand in this area of the island, there's another gym location there, so I figured we could just like have a change of scenery, I guess, and go there and like see what the vibe is there. But also, guess what freaking came in the mail today? My EHP Labs order. I have been here in Hawaii for 4 weeks without my supplements, which I'm so dramatic, like it's not a big deal, like I can live without my supplements, but like they just make my life so much fun. Like the amount of times that I wish I could have OxyShed before my leg days was insane. And freaking the OxyGlow, like I just love this, and their protein, like the Plus protein, I had a protein shake before this and it literally felt like a damn IV because I just was so deprived. I just loved it. And then they also sent over their new OxyGreens products, which I've yet to try this, so I'm gonna do a taste test later. But just for reference, for OxyShed, I got the flavors in Raspberry Refresh and Passion Fruit. This is honestly my favorite one so far. It like tastes like a liquid fruit roll up to me for some reason. And then for protein flavors, I got banana bread because that one freaking rocks. And then plain old chocolate milk, of course, because it's so freaking good. You could use code LIFTFIT10 to save money, 10% on all of their supplements, and also directly support me, which thank you so much if you do think of me and use my code at checkout. It really genuinely supports me and helps me so much more than you think. I love all their stuff. I swear by it, and I genuinely use it, and they make me happy, and they're just fun to incorporate into my daily routine. So I love them. I'm going to make a little cocktail for the road of OxyShred passion fruit flavor and then their OxyGlow marine collagen. I just needed to document this because this is like the first time LiveFit X EHP Labs has taken on Hawaii together, you know? I mean, maybe I'll sip it a little bit before we go. I also don't want to end up taking it too late, you know what I mean? So like maybe I should just drink it now. I'm just paranoid from not being able to sleep because of caffeine, if I'm being honest. We back, we back, we back. Hey, ooh, kill him, ooh, yeah. Hey, hey.
I'm just letting everyone know you are not ready for this portion of the video. I was so hyped this day. This was a new gym location. I freaking loved it, and the lighting was spectacular. I just loved the whole experience. So first, finally had a good hip thrust setup, which I think is what really set the initial vibe. So I did 5 sets here. First set, I did 12 reps, then I increased the weight by chucking on 25 pounds on each side for 10 reps. So the last 4 sets, I did 10 complete reps. This was me just pumping out my max, which was really freaking exciting. This bench was a little bit on the lower end, but I would prefer it to be lower rather than too high. You essentially want your bench height so that when you are maxing out at full hip extension at the top, you are parallel, your torso should be parallel with the ground. So same form tips here, knees stacked over our ankles so that we can drive up through our heels. We're constantly looking forward and scooping up with our hips here until we reach max contraction by driving our hips up to the sky and having a really nice long thorough contraction here. You want to make sure that you are in the center of the barbell pad and that the pad is in the center of the barbell as well. And in terms of your position on the bench, you want like the bottom of your sports bra to the middle of your back be on the bench. This is what helps me not feel like I'm going to slide off the bench at all. And like I said, really scooping your hips up and keeping your torso and the top of your chest very stationary is what's going to help you not feel like you're pushing backwards and more so scooping up and really feeling it in your glutes. So that's really important. Then I went into the best freaking little combo that I've done in a long time. So this was a landmine RDL to a squat. I did 4 sets of 10 reps here. So the RDL to the squat is 1 rep here. These lit my booty cheeks on fire. It was, the mind to muscle connection was insane. I was so sweaty here, so I had to keep kind of re-gripping. That's totally fine. Just keep flowing with it. I interlock my hands, which really helps me. That might be a tip for you as well. So same form tips for the RDL here. You're going to push your hips backwards to start the movement. It's another hip hinging movement. I'm pretending like there's a board strapped to my back. I'm keeping a slight bend in my leg to make it more glute bias and protect my knee. Constantly driving up through my heel. And then after that, I'm going to sink back and down into a squat like I'm sitting into a chair. And again, constantly driving up through my heel to really engage the glute muscles here. You really want to position your feet in a way that's good for you so that you're at the right angle to feel it in your glutes. So don't be afraid to kind of play around with where you're putting your feet so that when you're kind of going into that hip hinge or into that squat, you're feeling that weight in your glutes. Then I went into Bulgarians, which I haven't done in what feels like since 06. So I did 4 sets again of 10 reps here. I always describe this as a diagonal range of motion here. So I'm sinking back and down as opposed to just completely coming straight down and crowding my toe. This is going to help me shift that weight onto my heel. Again, same principle so that we can drive up through our heel and make this more glute biased as always. You can also tell when I come down into the bottom of this split squat, my knee is stacked over my ankle. Again, this is what's going to help really create that stretch in your glute and make this more glute bias as opposed to quad bias. The more your knee crowds the toe and the more of an angle your shin is at, that is what's going to make this more quad focus. So I'm doing it specifically to make this more glute bias, and I'm having a slight forward torso lean. I'm bringing my chest to my knee to again increase the stretch in my glutes and make this more glute bias as well. So those were my main compound moves for the workout, and then I went into more isolated things. This again is a lateral movement to hit those smaller glute muscles, like I said, the glute medius and minimus, the upper outer portion of the glute, to really help give yourself that rounded shape, which is what I like. So I did 3 sets of 12 here. I'm just holding a 25-pound plate and kicking out to the side. I tend to do these faster than I should, to be fully honest. I should go slower and more controlled and really think about those smaller glute muscles. But as you can see here on the back side, you can see at the very top outer portion of my glute, it kind of comes out. That's the muscle that I'm trying to target here. Then I supersetted that with leg extension, so I just was doing these back to back, and I did 3 sets of 12 here to really isolate our quads, because last leg day we did leg curl to isolate the hamstrings, and these were just a burner. I try to just shoot my toes up towards the sky and ideally have a slight pause at the top to really feel it fully in your quad to make sure that you're having full range of motion and full extension here. But this workout wrecked me. I was straight up dead. As you can see at the end of this clip, I was debating life.
You guys already know I'm about to go off. I just had like borderline, like maybe one of the best workouts of my entire life. Was it the Oxy Shred? I don't know. Was it placebo? Probably both. But I'm so juiced. Not only was that such a good workout, I was sweating. So I don't even know the last time I sweat that much from a leg workout. I was like, that's wet. That's literally like, I kind of was like, wait, what do I do? Like, I felt like I just got out of a pool. Like, I was like, does anyone have a towel? Like, I was dripping, and it was just such a good workout. Like, those RDLs to squats on the landmine bar, I haven't done that, and I've heard such good things about it, and today I felt it so freaking good. I forgot about Bulgarians also. Like, how did I forget about those? Those used to be like staples. I haven't done those in weeks. The vibes were so high. I like a love-hate relationship with the music in the UFC gyms, because it's so loud that you like need noise canceling headphones, or else you're hearing your music and their music. That's how loud it is. Like, the part of me is like, shh, like I want to get in my zone, but then the other part of me is like, turn it freaking up, bro, like blast it, because I'm like, yo, we're all vibing. And it was like big booty mixes, if you guys know what that is. Like, it was like rap with EDM, which is like my favorite thing ever. The vibes were just so freaking high, and I'm convinced, you guys, like when you're high, it's not even I'm convinced, like it's factual, but I just love when it's like amplified to me. When you're high vibe, like you effortlessly come into alignment with high vibe people. Like, I feel like when I get like this and my energy is so freaking high, I'm on such a high frequency, I always see people who are just super kind. Like, I just saw like this really cute, nice lady in the bathroom, and like she was so sweet. Like, she was the cleaning lady, and she was just like so sweet. Like, little things like that, which also when you're in a high vibe frequency, I'm going off right now, but also when you're high vibe, like those things feel even more, like the magnitude of them is even greater, and you feel them even more in your heart space because you're just already in that frequency. So like not only do you more effortlessly come into alignment with these good like interactions and good scenarios, but they also feel even better and heightened because you're just more sensitized to them because you're on a higher vibrational frequency. Man, frick! I'm just so thankful to be alive, fully able, fully mobile. I don't know, I just had such a good day today. You know, I just was like chilling by myself. Like I just feel like I came across like really lovely people. Also met a subscriber in there. Like that was just so freaking lovely. Also, I gave no fooks today. Like again, you guys, I was on such a high vibration in there, it's not even funny. And not even in a conceited way, like I owned that space. It was just like I owned my space. Does that make sense? Like I didn't even care. Again, not in like a insensitive way. It just was like everyone's doing them and I'm freaking doing me. I was taking photos in there like nobody's business. I was taking videos in the freaking mirror where there was 2 guys on either side of me, and I just was like, I made sure I wasn't in their way and stuff, but like I just was like, I'm not even embarrassed. Usually I'm kind of like, oops, like I'm kind of shy and awkward. Today I was like, yeah, what's up? Like, hey, like as I don't know. Peace, love, and happiness, baby. Live, love, laugh. Be thankful for movement. This is a luxury. And I was so strong for no reason today. Seriously. Go get Oxy Shred, Live Fit 10. If this isn't living proof that it amps you up, it makes you have such a good workout. Like I swear I performed so much better today because of the Oxy Shred. Call me crazy, call me placebo. I don't really freaking care. Ignorance is bliss, whatever it was. I love you, Oxy Shred. Live Fit 10, baby. Welcome to Friday. We're going to do a functional full body day. I am definitely sore for my workout yesterday because it was so freaking bomb. Nevertheless, we're gonna go do a quick sweaty session. I honestly don't want to go work out right now, but I would prefer to go now instead of having to try to deal with it like tomorrow or Sunday. Also, I just clearly am on the timing of my period cycle because every time I record these videos, I'm PMSing. Like I don't know the last time I did a week of workouts video and I wasn't about to get my period. Damn, we also got a prime parking spot at the gym, like literally as close as we can get. Front row, wasting no time.
All right, dudes, welcome to the final workout of the video. I started with some dynamic stretch because I was so freaking tight and sore from yesterday's leg day. I needed something. So I did my normal like leg day stretch, to be honest. Opened everything up a little bit, tried to help it foam rolled a little bit as well because y'all, I was so freaking sore. Then I jumped roped for a little bit as well because just to get my heart rate up and get warm. I love doing that, as you guys know, before these full body circuits, just because it gets me in the mood. So you guys are used to me doing EMOM style, but I've been doing more so just timed, I guess, circuits, and I've been enjoying it. So here we have 8 different exercises. We're going to be doing them 3 times through, and each for a certain amount of time followed by a certain amount of rest. So for the first set, we're doing 45 seconds on with 20 seconds rest of each exercise. Then we're doing 40 seconds on to 20 seconds rest, and then 35 seconds on with 15 seconds rest. So we're slowly decreasing the work time throughout the whole entire workout. So first, we're starting off with tire flips. This makes me feel like just a boss. I'm just gonna say it. Like my ego gets through the roof. I don't know. I just feel so strong and like it's just so fun. So this was a 220-pound tire here. If you don't have this, I wouldn't be surprised, but just start off with some sort of full body exercise, whether that's a burpee or something like that. So again, doing this for 45 seconds and then immediately followed by 20 seconds of rest, and then you're going to move into the next exercise, etc. So if you do have a tire, make sure that you're really driving up through your legs here to flip that tire. And then from there, I went into battle ropes, which again, this is something else that makes me really feel just sick. This was a killer of a workout, I just gotta say it. This gets so much more engaged than just your arms. Like my core is always on fire as well. So I did just a normal variation of kind of alternating the ropes for half of the time, and then the second half of the working time, I did doubles at once to get more of like a full body move and get my legs into it. This freaking burned. My shoulders were like dying after it, but I loved it and it just was so fun. Then I moved into ball slams. Another thing that just makes me feel like a boss. This was just such an empowering workout. So I just was taking a ball, slamming it to the ground. Really make sure you're keeping your core nice and tight throughout the whole movement. This is another great full body move. that is just a really stellar one, and I really enjoyed it. Make sure that you're really giving it your all throughout all of these timed portions. Because it's timed, it's really about what you make of the most of that time limit. So really try to see as many reps as you can do in each time slot for each round. It will really make a difference with the quality of the workout and what you're getting out of it. Then I went into another arm burner. I did incline push-ups to 4 mountain climbers. These rock. I love this variation. I did this in Utah, but it was just even more fun to do like on the tire. I just really enjoy it. It really gets the arms going and really gets the core going as well. So just do a normal push-up. Make sure that your arms are kind of more so coming out at a 45-degree angle again to minimize stress on the shoulders. They're not coming straight out as a T. You're keeping your core nice and tight throughout the whole movement, making sure your bum isn't coming up too high in the air, and really contract that core, bring that belly button to your spine to drive up those knees to your chest. This is spectacular. I absolutely love it. Then I figured I would make the most of the ladder. This is bringing me back to my high school lacrosse days. So this is just a footwork variation to help with footwork and athleticism. I'm essentially putting one foot out of the ladder and then bringing both feet in and going as fast as I can to help with footwork and speed. On the way back, I definitely kept getting tripped up, but it's part of it. And then I think these ones are called scissors. I don't know. I just remember doing these in high school and I freaking loved them, and they were right there, and I was like, hey, let's work on some speed work and footwork. Why don't we? And the infamous dive bombers. I feel like these are iconic for some reason to me, I guess. I don't know why. So I did dive bombers. These are amazing for your shoulders, upper body, just everything. I love these, and while also like taking your body through a stretch and a movement, it's divine. Kind of like a yoga-esque move. Kind of looks like you're grinding up against the floor, but like I'm here for it, you know? So basically you're kind of coming down like a pike push-up in a teepee, if you will, bringing your face as close as you can to the ground, and then kind of doing a vinyasa, if you will, to bring your chest up towards the sky and kind of doing like a upward dog. I forgive my yoga terms, but you're kind of doing a body roll to the ground and trying to skim the ground, and this will absolutely get your shoulders fired up and get your core engaged. Speaking of core, then we went into marching crunches, which I kind of made this move up, and it is my favorite ab exercise to date. I freaking said it. So I have a 10-pound dumbbell here, and you're basically just going to drive your knee to your chest while lifting your shoulder blades up off the ground. I'm making sure that my feet are never coming and touching the ground to keep my core constantly engaged. I'm sucking my belly button to my spine to again constantly engage your core and help shift stress away from your hip flexors. I'm telling you, if you do that, you will feel your core work so much and more in your ab exercises. Like, it'll be night and day for you. And try to bring your shoulder blades off the ground as high as you can. Your abs will freaking burn with this exercise. Lastly, I did these like side crunch things because I haven't done like a side plank type ab movement in a really long time. So I essentially was bringing my elbow to my knee while constantly keeping my hand and my working leg up in the air. Again, always sucking that belly button to my spine to engage my core. This is great for balance and stability as well as core strength and working those obliques. This, I felt like a 45-year-old like mom in Pilates or something in the 90s. Like, I feel like I needed leg warmers on, but it was brutal. One side was definitely better than the other side, but this is such a great overall core stability move, and I really liked it. So that was it. Again, make sure that you're doing this 3 times through with the 3 different time variations. Super freaking fun workout. I loved this. I was dead, but it was fun.
Good morning, you guys. Happy Saturday. I'm going to some tide pools with my friends Rachel and Gwen. I'm pretty sure Gwen's coming, and I'm so excited. right, guys, happy Sunday. It is 7:20 and we're going surfing today. So that is it for this week of workouts in Hawaii. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate if you guys could drop a thumbs up just to help this video reach more people. These definitely take me so long to edit, but I know that it's worth it because it helps you guys out so much. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you guys so much love and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.